All right. So, if you're ever falsely accused of a crime you didn't commit, and you get this ticket, you get a disorderly conduct ticket, you're supposed to, for saying "go fuck yourself" in public, and the police officer arrests you after you explain to him, "Hey, go fuck yourself" is a freedom of speech, and you know it, and you just explained why. The first thing you do, they're going to arrest you. You can't stop that from happening, and that's what happened to me. I think he tried to stop me from closing my phone to save the recording, to prove my innocence. He tried to arrest me without letting me turn my camera off to save the recording, but I still was easy to arrest, a very easy arrest. So after that happens, you're supposed to go to the police department and file a complaint about that officer. If the police department has any worth, if the police department has any value, they'll teach their officer that "go fuck yourself" is protected free speech. You can't be charged for saying that. Profanity is only a disorderly conduct if it's used in the process of violence. If it's used in a way that violence could occur. So if you say "go fuck yourself" to somebody and there's a good chance that violence will occur, and it's clearly evident someone's about to hurt you, or you are about to hurt somebody else because of your statement, you can be charged with disorderly conduct. But if that doesn't happen, if there's no threats involved, there's no potential for violence, you can't be charged for using profanity in public. It is only supposed to be used if there's a potential for violence or violence occurs. Then they charge you with profanity, and it's a disorderly conduct. Otherwise, you don't have any freedom of speech. So I'm going to go in here and file a complaint. Hello, how are you? I'm okay. I would like to file a complaint because I was just given a disorderly conduct for freedom of speech. And I said the words GFY, and the officer said that if you say that in public and there's children present, you can be charged with a disorderly conduct. I told the officer that is incorrect. Freedom of speech you can only be charged for those words if violence or the potential of violence occurs. So if someone's about to be hurt because of the words you spoke and you use swear words, you can be charged with profanity. You can't be, otherwise we don't have a freedom of speech. The Supreme Court decided we're all given a right to swear in public at all times, unless your words leads to violence or the potential of violence. None of those things happened. I told the officer this. He still cited me. I would like to file a complaint.
Okay. We would have you talk to the supervisor, but the supervisor isn't here right now.
Okay. Can I have
the supervisor give you a call?
Can I write the complaint?
Do you want like a witness statement? Do I have a seat? I'm just going to see what I need to do for sure.
Okay.
said to give you a witness statement form and put your information on there. And he will be in tomorrow morning. If you're available to come, he could meet with you.
No, I gotta work. Well, I have to be at work tomorrow, but I don't have to work on Friday. It's a 30-minute drive for me. I'm from Madison. I came for a coffee. I usually go to towns. I go to the coffee shops, random coffee shops. I go to the history museums. I go to the parks. If they have like historical parks or something really nice nearby, I stop and I stroll, tweet, and then go back home. That's usually what I've done. I've done it for like 2 or 3 years now.
Okay.
All over Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I usually get a little bit of harassment from the community. It's not too much, but it's always the same experience. Today is just different. An officer decided to arrest me. This is new.
I mean, I'm just basically a secretary here.
Yeah.
I'm a police officer. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact rules on any of that.
Yeah.
So what I can do is provide you with. He said to give you a witness statement form.
Yeah.
And then you can write on here if you need more. You can let me know.
Okay.
There's a pen. Do you want me to see if I can round you up a clipboard to write on?
I will.
Or if you go through that door, there's a desk in there you can sit at and write if you'd like.
Okay. I will. How long are you guys open?
5.
5. I will find somewhere to write. There's probably somewhere to write around here. I'll write and then I'll bring it back. And I gotta go to your city hall. Do you have the city hall here?
Back here in the brick building behind us on the second floor.
Second floor. I'll go there and then come back with this filled out and submit it then.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you. And I'm gonna take the records request. For the
Okay.
for the.
If you want a copy of the record, you need to fill that out too.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And I'm gonna take your pen temporarily.
Okay.
Yep. Wow. Tired. All right. So that's what you got to do, people. You go to the police department, you file a complaint. I'm going to go to the city hall, file a complaint with the city hall, or to let them know I'm going to sue them. Just start that right away. Start the lawsuit immediately. So she said the city hall is the brick building right over there. So I'm gonna sue this cop so fast. But I feel like this is like stealing from the government because the police officer knows for a fact go fuck yourself is a freedom of speech. He knows it. That cop is not stupid. Or that cop is like 60 years old. He has to have known that go fuck yourself is a freedom of speech at all times. There's no way in the world he didn't know that. So he tried to arrest me for something he knew I had a legal right. I had a legal right to talk about, and then he did it on purpose. So he arrested me for something he knew I had a legal right to say to see if I would choose violence. Right? Like, would I choose violence instead of willingly being arrested for something I know I have a right to do? So the cop was smart. He's smart enough to know that he can't probably get me to commit a crime unless I feel my rights were violated. And that's when people normally commit crimes, when they feel like they're in the right. But there are things you still can't do even if you're in the right. Well, it's a touchy area to be in. So just maintain your rights. I would suggest you can't do anything. In fact, they're going to win that fight. In the moment, those officers are going to win the fight because you aren't that strong. They will arrest you before anybody can come there to stop them from arresting you, even if you're in the right. Oh, crap. So she said it's the brick building. Is it that building? All right, I gotta cut this off. But basically, a cop arrested me thinking I would choose violence, right? If I choose violence, would I choose violence instead of, in that moment, to protect my rights? Which my rights are always protected. It's just the court system is going to do the protecting months from now, or they're supposed to. Instead of me protecting my rights physically, someone's supposed to protect them intellectually. Minus some physical damages, like to my wrist, or some emotional damage that can't be emotional damage that can't be stopped because police officers are able to do bad things in the moment, and so there's nothing we could do about that. But overall, your rights are supposed to be protected, will be protected in the court system. Or they're supposed to be. That doesn't always happen. I went to prison for something I didn't do. So I can't always tell people your rights will always be protected in the court system. They're supposed to be. But this is black and white. If you say go fuck yourself in public, you cannot get arrested. Do you understand? It is very simple. So now I really strongly believe the officer tried to get me to commit violence. So would I commit violence when I know my rights were being violated and I knew I was in the right? So instead of doing his job, he did the wrong thing. Or no, he tried to provoke an altercation. He's smart. It's like psychological harassment plus intimidation together. I know you're right, and I know as a police officer, I should know you have a right to say those words in public. So in this moment, what choices will you make when you feel like you're in the right, or you know for a fact I'm violating your rights? What would you choose to do? Well, most people choose to violence, or they choose to run, or they choose to fight, and they choose to make things worse because they don't trust the criminal justice system, or they think they have a right to do certain things. But in reality, you're going to lose ultimately, because ultimate loss, well, you could lose in the court system. The judge could say your actions were reckless, or you endangered people's lives trying to resist arrest, or the officers could kill you. You could end up dead, tased, pepper sprayed, beaten, and bad things can happen to you while you're trying to protect your rights physically in the moment. And that fight you're going to lose. You're going to lose that fight because officers are going to ultimately have an obligation to follow through on their mistakes. So even if they're wrong, they're going to follow through to the end. So, and there's no one here to stop them. And they think they have immunity. So I'm gonna sue the hell out of this cop. Not because I know he did it on purpose, and he was testing my strength, my choices, to see if I would choose violence. That worthless cockroach. I know he's 60 years old. He knows you have a freedom of speech, and he's probably aware that I know it too. I know he's aware of it. I know he recognized the dude with the earmuffs, and I know he knows I say go fuck yourself everywhere I go. I know he knows that. I know he knows it. So intimidation when I turned the camera away, and then innocence when I turned the camera towards him. I'm so sick of people doing that. But anyways, I'm going to figure out where this city hall is, and I'm going to post that cop in a second.